You may already know the internet drama. Until you're a parent, you don't know. What do you think, Sage? Are you traumatized? I think it's official. We're gonna have to move. This is for Cashew to sleep on when she comes in our room. Good morning. It's Sunday. I feel like I've just been vlogging on the weekends lately because the weeks have been a bit packed and lots going on. I've actually been waking up at 6:30 like all week and then watching Stranger Things at night. So I feel like it's caught up to me. I'm just gonna make my herbal coffee. She's actually like already up. Probably, yeah, 7:45, but she's not crying yet. So sometimes she just like is up in her bed. Oh, something exciting is getting delivered today, and I think we're gonna do a barbecue. So, okay, and coffee. Coffee. I've been using my milk frother like every morning, and it just makes such a difference. It's worth the extra 2 minutes. Hang tight. By the way, I will link the herbal coffee that I get, and as well as the Trader Joe's liquid stevia. You can order it on Amazon. It's kind of expensive, but it will last forever. If you're in the States, stock up because it's like a really good stevia. It doesn't have that like weird aftertaste. Ooh. Yesterday was such a fun day. I wasn't really on social media or vlogging. I was nice and present with my family. I went to yoga. Saturday mornings, I think, is like my yoga morning. And we went to the waterfront, walked around, got smoothies, went to the market, like farmer's market. Sage like chugged my smoothie. It was an oatmeal cookie one. I'm thinking about making like an IG reel of that, like my own recreation of the smoothie because it was really, really good. And we saw family and just had a relaxing night. I have a live stream this morning at 10, so in like 2 hours, and then just like things around the house and stuff. So I'll show you guys what we're up to, what I'm eating. I went grocery shopping last night, picked up a few things because we were running low. It's hot. Okay, gotta go wake up Sage and start our day as parents. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Hi.
No.
Can I have a hug first? Can I have a hug first? Oh, can I have a kiss first? Mwah. Oh, my love. Did you have a good sleep? Did you have a good sleep? I know. Straight for the milk. Straight for the milk. This is her morning coffee. As soon as she wakes up, she's like, milk, milk, milk. You're like a little milk zombie. The nice thing about breastfeeding a toddler is like you can just go hands free and you can just relax. It's also like the only time I get to cuddle with her. Unless Shrek is on. Then we have couch cuddles with Shrek. Y'all done? Ready to conquer the day? Oh. Yeah, do you want weekend cartoons?
I can't.
Give it to Mom. Wow, thank you. Oh, no, that's hot. Oh my God, that woke me up. These are actually the pancakes I'm doing a live stream for this morning. They're from the Baby HealthNut cookbook. Like 4 ingredients, really easy to make. Sage is gonna have them for breakfast and then I'm making them again, so she'll probably have them for tomorrow as well. All right, finished the live stream. We made some pancakes. I'm just posting the live onto my feed. You can rewatch it if you wanna see it and cook along. Sage, come here. Oh, I know, she's not supposed to touch that. She's got hand sanitizer. True 2020 baby.
It's not open.
Yes, it's not open. If you guys didn't know, I have a digital baby cookbook with over 30 recipes. All the recipes I created and fed sage when she was first starting solids. It's great for toddlers too. I'm gonna put these in the fridge. We're gonna go. We have to run a couple of errands. We're heading to go look at something very exciting. I'll maybe tell you in a different vlog, but sorry to keep you hanging. But I'm gonna, yeah, get this girl ready to go. If you don't own one of these, it's the best cleaning mechanism we own. It disinfects, deodorizes everything just with water, and it just steams, and it's very satisfying to use. Highly recommend. I'll link it down below. It's my favorite cleaning tool. Here's the base. Now we're just gonna bring in the top. There she is. I love how it reflects the
It's kind of cool. You can see the trees in it.
There you go. It's better. See the light. It's the base. And it's like a white tempered glass top, so really easy to wipe.
Hold up one of these chairs and sat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it high?
I think it.
I know.
Oh.
We're gonna have to get new chairs. I feel like that's right. Yeah. All right, so there's a little bit of sticker residue here. If you take a little lemon essential oil, a natural Goo Gone, and takes it right off. I got this online. It's a Canadian brand called Rove Concepts. I will see if I can find the link for you guys. Matt ran to do some errands, so I'm just gonna prep some food for the week. I think we're gonna do a barbecue for tonight. We just ended up eating leftovers for lunch. You always gotta rinse your melons before you cut into them. Otherwise, all the stuff on the outside gets in the inside. Things your parents tell you and they stick in your head forever. All right, so this has been on my mind for a bit. And if you guys watched how my baby sleeps 12 hours a night, you may already know the internet drama, which honestly, when I made that video, it was purely just to help other parents navigate and hopefully get their little ones to sleep throughout the night, because I really struggled with that. Well, both Matt and I did. And I made that video sharing realistically what we do as parents, and I never knew there's like a huge divide in the world or on the internet about sleep training specifically. And at the end of that video, I had said, you know, that we did gentle sleep training, and I got I wouldn't say it was like 50-50, but there was definitely a percentage on the internet that are very, very against that and coming at me saying that Sage is going to be traumatized. I'm an awful mom. I got DMs on Instagram. I was honestly taken back by the reaction. I didn't think I was going to get that from that video. Like, there's so many different forms of sleep training. There's obviously like the cried out method, which is not for me. And I feel like some people say that there is no such thing as a gentle sleep training, which I disagree with. And that basically the expectation, which I also disagree with, is that you should just be rocking your baby to sleep every single night until they fall asleep in your arms, and you gently put them in bed, or you just stay in their room until they fall asleep. And I think it's called like assisted sleeping. I have no idea, but all I can say is that, you know, at the end of the day, there are many different ways to parent. And my way may not be your way. I said this all in an Instagram post. I'll put a photo of it here and link it down below. But my way may not be your way, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that just because you have a different opinion than someone that you have to attack them for it or say that they are damaging or traumatizing their kid when you don't know the full story. Like in our case, Sage was not a good sleeper. She went through like the newborn stage where usually they will be up a lot, and then all of a sudden you get into like this like honeymoon phase of sleep, and they're just sleeping really, really good, and you think like this is gonna be how it's gonna go, and then all of a sudden the 4-month sleep regression rolls around, and not everybody experiences it, but we experienced it hard. Basically, their brain starts to develop more like an adult, and they're waking up more. Sage was waking up every, and I'm not kidding, every hour, hour and a half, 2 hours for like almost 2 months, and that's after like the initial newborn stage where you're already tired. She was waking up all throughout the night, and like my mental health was struggling. I was starting to feel, you know, postpartum depression because I was so sleep deprived. I was like a zombie throughout the day. Sage was not happy during this time. Neither one of us was getting sleep. And I remember I was just crying every day. Like I was just a wreck. And I remember, you know, I was venting a lot on Instagram about how I was feeling, and a lot of people told me about sleep training. It changed their life, and I didn't, right away I was like, oh, like I don't know what this is. I don't want Sage just crying all the time. And then I met Lily from Little Baby Sleep, which I talk about her all the time because I really feel like she just changed the game for us. And I've had a conversation about this whole shaming parents for sleep training as well on the internet, because I didn't know it was a thing. And I, you know, when we met her, I said, like, I don't, like, Sage was still little, and I was like, I didn't feel comfortable with her, you know, just crying herself to sleep. And then Lily explained to me, like, that doesn't have to be the way. And there's so many different ways to sleep train your kid. And it can be as assisted as you would like. It could be you in the room, outside of the room. The amount of times that you check on them can differ. Let me just put this in the compost. And really what we ended up doing is a very gentle version of sleep training. Sage was still little, and we would do, I think the intervals we did were like 30 seconds of her crying. 30 seconds. And we started with even like 5-10 seconds. And during this time, we were right outside her door, sometimes in her room. But to be honest, Sage has always been a kid that she just sleeps better on her own. And this is something I discovered when we started sleep training. This is when we're also transitioning her into her own room. And I remember the first night she actually slept in her own room, because we started with daytime naps and then switched her over to her room at night. And we all had a better sleep. Even now, like honestly, I would have loved to bed share. We did it sometimes when she was really little, but I'm gonna have some of this now. Nice and sweet. If she woke up and it was after 5, I would just bring her into bed with me, nurse her, and we would just fall asleep, and I loved it. But now as she's gotten older, like she will not sleep in bed with us. If we're in the room, she will not sleep. I've also gotten messages saying that self-soothing is not, like learning for babies to learn to self-soothe is not a thing, and they only do it out of like, basically they're forced to because they come to a point where they feel like no one's gonna come to them, even if they're upset, which is not true at all. If Sage wakes up throughout the night, we always go, it just depends. Like if she wakes up, makes a little bit of noise and goes back to sleep, we don't go in there. But if she wakes up in the middle of the night and is upset, we are there. We always comfort her. We always let her know we are outside if she needs us. We communicate with her. Teaching a kid to self-soothe and help put themselves back to sleep, like we wake up throughout the night. It's not a uncommon thing to, I feel like this is dangerous. Like teaching your baby to learn how to go back to sleep and self-soothe isn't being a bad parent. That's just one way to do it. It doesn't have to mean letting them cry all night until they fall asleep because they're so upset. So when people are comparing that to what we did with Sage, it honestly really upsets me, because you guys know, like I've done so much research on baby food, baby sleep, parenting. I've read books, I follow apps, I follow Instagram accounts, I talk to other parents, other moms. And then when I'm told that I'm a bad parent because this is what we decided to do for our family and it's what worked best for Sage, it upsets me, because like every baby is different. There are many parenting styles, and honestly, I know what we did was the best thing for Sage. She is such a good sleeper. She wakes up so happy. She goes to bed so happy. She knows, because we keep her routine the same, the cues for bedtime. And with the whole self-soothing thing, like she didn't learn that because we let her cry at night. She learned that because as I would be getting her ready for bed, I would be rocking her, and I would actually try to encourage her hand next to her mouth, because she only wanted the boob in her mouth. until she fell asleep. And the issue is that for me anyways, if I breastfed to sleep, she would then wake up, and I talked about this in my baby sleep video, but basically if she breastfed to sleep and fell asleep on me, and then I would transfer her to the bed, and then she'd wake up a couple hours later and start crying and freaking out because she didn't realize where she was, because she remembered falling asleep on me. And that's where the sleep regression just like never ended until I started to breastfeed her and then put her to sleep awake, not on the boob, and actually have her fall asleep in her bassinet. And a lot of times there wasn't really that much crying. It was just me putting her in, maybe brushing her cheek a little bit so she could wake up before closing her eyes again, and she would know where she was. And the self-soothing happened in my arms. She would learn to suck on her hand instead of needing my boob in her mouth the entire time, because the reality is mom's got other jobs. I work full-time still. I've breastfed Sage on demand for over a year. Now we're like weaning a little bit, but like it is not realistic, whether I was working or not, to be breastfeeding her every single hour throughout the night. Her feeding schedule was so off when I was doing that. We were both exhausted. Neither one of us was sleeping well. And the fact that these expectations are out there on the internet, that if you sleep train your child, you're a bad parent, blows my mind. I feel like it's setting these unrealistic expectations for how everyone should be parenting, that there's just one size that fits all. And if you're not doing this, then you're doing it wrong. And it's just, I know for me, like I said, my mental health was struggling. I was not sleeping, and Sage was just not sleeping. No one was happy. And once we just implemented some gentle sleep habits, which I believe there is a difference, it changed everything. Sage is a happier baby. And like even the other day, I was just like, why do people feel the need to say this? The other day, I have someone reach out to me who I think said she's a therapist, basically writes me this whole comment about the fact that I slept trained Sage and that she's gonna have trauma in her life, but no mom shame. And I'm like, how is that? Wow, what an oxymoron there. I'm like, how is that not mom shame yet? You're telling me my child's gonna have trauma? Like, what are you talking about? If you're a parent and you're seeing this stuff on the internet, just know there is more than one way to get your kid to sleep throughout the night, and letting them cry a little bit at night does not make you a bad parent. That means if I was to never let Sage cry, I would never have a shower. I would never finish a meal. I would never just, like, I don't know, do anything. I feel like as a parent, you need to get a little bit comfortable with your baby crying, and you learn the different cries. And that was a hard thing for me. I remember I wouldn't be able to eat or do anything if Sage was crying. Matt would have to take her out of the room if she was really upset and I was trying to eat a meal, because I was just like, I can't, like I physically cannot eat right now. I've lost my appetite if she was crying. And so when she was up all night crying, I remember it was just like so hard for me to even sleep. Once we transitioned her to her own room, oh my God, it just made such a difference. And like, there's way less crying. There's way less waking up in the middle of the night. We've set those healthy sleep habits that I think are going to help her for the rest of her life be a good sleeper. We stick to a routine. You know, not everybody experiences a ton of crying. And like I said, if she's upset throughout the night, of course we go in there and we reassure her that we are just outside. I talk to her, I use words. Every time I put her to bed at night, I say, Mommy and Daddy, we'll see you in the morning. Have a good sleep. Anyways, it was on my mind, and I don't with the knife. I don't appreciate the, like, I can't believe you did that kind of comment when I know we didn't do anything wrong. And it's a very normal thing to do, and there is many ways to help support your child's sleeping habits. And I'm sorry, but like telling parents that it's traumatizing when, like I said, Sage didn't even have that much crying when we slept train her. As someone who's very against certain discipline styles, having people tell me that the sleep training thing is a form of like abuse and trauma to Sage is like very upsetting. And so like, you know, you have to think too about the parents. Not only does not getting sleep throughout the night affect the baby, but it also affects the parents, their mental health. And you know, if you're not at your best, well, how are you going to be a good parent for your kid? Do not feel shame if you decided to sleep train your kid, because there are many ways to do it, and you can just pick whatever way fits your comfort level and your little ones. Like, it may not be the solution for every child, and that's fine. But for Sage, she sleeps so good by herself. And if she ever wakes up throughout the night, we are there to help her and support her and get her back to sleep so she can have a good, restful night. I think that's, yeah, that part was no good. I'm gonna make like this is pumpkin, and I'm thinking of making like a pumpkin coconut curry for Sage, so I just want to chop it up. I feel like once it's chopped, I'll actually use it throughout the week. So basically what I'm saying is, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. You know, it's totally fine. You don't have to say your opinion every single time. Just because you say it on the internet doesn't mean it's okay because it's behind a keyboard. You know, if you wouldn't say something like that to someone's face or a friend of yours, probably best to not put it out into the internet, because you don't know what that parent has gone through. You don't know exactly what the journey was or where they were emotionally or mentally. And, you know, don't judge. If I've learned anything from being a parent is, you know, you may say, oh, I would never do this, you know, before you're a parent. Like, I would never do screen time. I would never let my child play on the floor in a department store. You know, until you're a parent, you don't know. Everything changes, and it's like survival, okay? And it's not to scare you. It's just like, you may think you wouldn't do something, or, you know, someone's way is wrong, but there is no wrong way. As long as you are being safe and loving and doing what you feel is best and getting, you know, advice from experts that you trust and believe in, you know, your approach of parenting, I think that's like all you can really do. No one is ever gonna fully agree with what you do. You know, I also have never given Sage fast food like McDonald's or pop or just like super sugary candy. Does that mean I think another parent is a bad parent because they do that? Like, no, you know what? Like, eventually Sage is gonna get into that stuff. Like, I just wanna make sure she's a really good intuitive eater, is nourishing her body with like the good stuff before she starts introducing all that stuff. And that is just my approach. At the end of the day, you need to be kind and understanding and know, you know, every parent is just doing the best that they can with the resources they have. And, you know, if a mom is juggling 3 different kids, taking them to school, after school activities, all that, and she grabs McDonald's on the way home because that's all she can really have time for to put food on her kids' plates, like, there's no shame in that. You know, you're feeding your kids in the ability that you're able to, and I don't think that we need to be telling parents that they're bad parents for the decisions they make. And until you're in that situation, you don't know what you would do. So I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm just trying to say there are many ways to sleep train. It's not a one size fits all scenario, and don't judge others for doing something different outside of what you would do or what you think you would do. Because unless you have a little one that is in a 4-month sleep regression and you're not getting sleep throughout the night, then you can't judge. All right, I got my watermelon, pumpkin. Say whatever you want about me. You don't like my hair, you don't like my face, you don't like my clothes, that's fine. Talk about my daughter, we got problems. At the end of the day, I really just want my channel to be a place that is, you know, full of positivity, kindness, support, and just help bring this community together and support others, whether you're a parent or not. I just want to really have this place be a space of kindness and understanding. And I want to help inspire and motivate others, and also be helpful with my information and share what I'm actually doing that has been helping, because I want to help other parents. I would hate to go on my channel and pretend that, oh yeah, I just rock Sage to bed and she closes her eyes and she just sleeps 12 hours. And I mean, like, she really does that now. And, you know, if I didn't share what I did to get there, I would be doing a disservice to you guys. So, you know, just know I am just learning as I go, doing the best with the resources that I have. And if my way isn't your way, that's totally okay. And just know that there are many ways to do something, and just because it's different than your own doesn't mean it's wrong. What do you think, Sage? Are you traumatized Are you a traumatized, unhappy child? Do you have the best sleep? High five. Yeah. Do you want watermelon? Oh, and a kiss. Cheers. Watermelon for everybody. No, that one's for you. That's for you. All right, I think that's it for today. Does that feel good on your teeth? Okay, and we're gone. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, make sure you thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. And honestly, I know the majority of people are so supporting and loving, and I just want to spread more kindness to others, you know? She's just going around and, oh no, she's feeding cashew watermelon. Okay, bye guys. Love you. See you in the next video. Mwah. Hey, what are you doing? I feel like this is an outside food. No, cashew. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's fine.
Oh my god. I gotta stop watching Stranger Things. Oh my god. Close that. What are you doing? Put that outside. Oh, so scary. That looked like a baby huntsman. That's all I'm saying. Ooh. I think it's official. We're gonna have to move.